The lights cut out. The silence hit like a gunshot. Rhodes froze mid-step, the glow of his phone dimming as the entire safe house plunged into darkness. Outside, low rumbling engines grew louder. Tires against gravel. Multiple vehicles. I didn't wait for direction. "Alina, run!" Rhodes shouted, lunging toward me. I bolted through the hallway, heart in my throat. My bare feet slapped against the cold tile, my lungs burning with fear. In the reflection of the hallway mirror, I saw Rhodes draw his weapon, turning toward the front door. I didn't stop to see what happened next. A voice echoed behind me, distorted, metallic. It wasn't Rhodes. Asset compromised. Acquire target. Eliminate the agent. My skin turned to ice. I kicked open the side exit and sprinted into the night. The forest behind the safe house was thick, pitch black, and cold. Sharp branches clawed at my arms as I tore through the underbrush, heart hammering. Behind me, muffled shouts and gunfire erupted. Rhodes was in the middle of it, but I had no time to look back. I had no plan. I had no phone. I had no one. Branches whipped across my cheeks. My breath came in frantic bursts. I tripped, caught myself, pushed harder.
Who were they?
Damien's men? Corrupt agents? Easton? I didn't know. But I knew one thing. Someone wanted me dead. I ran until I couldn't anymore. I collapsed against a tree, chest heaving, soaked in sweat and mud. The moon slipped behind the clouds, making the woods ink black. I closed my eyes, trying to slow my breathing. Then footsteps. Deliberate. Controlled. Getting closer. I spun, lifting a branch in defense. "Who's there?"
Easy.
A woman's voice.
Calm. Low.
Confident. From the shadows stepped a figure in a dark tactical jacket, her face mostly obscured by a hood and scarf. Her eyes were sharp. Calculating. "I'm not here to hurt you, Alina. How do you know my name?" I hissed. She pulled off the scarf. "I used to work with Damien. Until he burned me too." I stepped back. "You were one of them?" "I was one of us, until I found out what he really was. My name's Morgan. I know what you're running from, and I know how to stop it." We moved through the woods under cover of darkness, arriving at an abandoned ranger cabin miles from the safe house. Morgan had stashed gear there, sat phones, encrypted drives, burner IDs. "Damien calls it the network," she explained. "It's not just blackmail or fraud. It's control. Influence. He compromises people, CEOs, cops, agents, and makes them loyal. If they disobey, their secrets go public." "And Easton?" I asked. "Is he part of it?" She hesitated.
Worse.
"He's the one who built the logistics. Offshore accounts. Secure comms. He's more dangerous than Damien in some ways, less emotional, more surgical." "Rhodes?" I asked. She looked away. "I don't know. But if Easton turned, it means Rhodes is either dead or already flipped." My knees gave out. I sat on the floor, reeling. "How do we stop them?" I whispered. "You already have something they're scared of. That flash drive? The real one? There's a code embedded in the metadata. It opens a vault. In it, everything." "Where's the vault?"
She pulled out a map.
"Chicago." Over the next 48 hours, we moved between safe houses, tracing Damien's offshore shell companies and hidden messages left in encrypted emails. Morgan was a ghost. She knew how to vanish, how to break into systems, how to disappear when the heat got close. In a dusty corner of an old post office basement, we found it. A private vault belonging to Harlan Trust, an ultra-secret banking firm known for storing more than just money. Morgan disabled the alarm. I entered the code Damien had embedded. The vault clicked open. Inside, one hard drive. We didn't make it to the exit. Gunshots. A flashbang. A voice behind us. "Step away from the vault." I turned, my vision blurry from the blast. Agent Easton. He looked cold, controlled. His weapon trained on me. "You've made this messy, Alina," he said. "You could have walked away." I looked at Morgan, her face stony, then at Easton. "I trusted you." He laughed. "That was your first mistake." Morgan stepped forward. "You won't shoot her." You need her alive. Easton's eyes flicked to her, and that's when I saw it. Recognition. They knew each other. Morgan didn't look surprised. At all. You led me here, I whispered. Morgan didn't speak. I felt my heart collapse in my chest.
Why?
She finally turned to me emotionless. Because you were going to ruin everything. You don't understand what's at stake. Damien's plan, it wasn't about greed. It was about balance.
Control.
Stability. Stability. I screamed. He ruined lives. He destroyed me. He protected you, she said softly, until you betrayed him. And now you're a liability. My ears rang. My legs buckled. You're one of them. No, she replied, lifting her gun. I'm the one that fixes things. Easton raised his gun. Morgan raised hers. And then, a single shot echoed. Someone dropped. And when my eyes cleared, it was Easton on the ground. Morgan stood over him, shaking, smoke curling from her gun. I'm sorry, she whispered to me. I lied. But I couldn't let him kill you. Back at her hideout, Morgan confessed everything. I worked for Damien, yes, she said. But I never stopped watching him. I left after he faked a partner's death. That's when I knew he was beyond saving. Then why help me? Because you're not a pawn. You're the only person who ever mattered to him. I stared at her. She handed me the hard drive. This will bring it all down. But it's not enough. What do you mean? She pulled up a digital map. There's a final key. A person. Someone even Damien was afraid of. The one who funded it all. A photo appeared on screen. I gasped. It was my father. No, I breathed. That's not possible. My father died in a car crash when I was 16. Morgan looked me dead in the eye. He faked his death. His name's not Gregory Monroe. It's Gavin King, the financier behind Damien, the mastermind. I stumbled backward, the walls spinning. That means... Yes, she said. Everything Damien did. It started with your family. And now it's coming full circle. Suddenly, her phone vibrated. A message popped up. 3 words. He knows. Run. We turned toward the door and heard footsteps outside. Then a knock. A calm, terrifying voice. Alina, open the door. It's time you met your real father. The knock came again, 3 slow taps that echoed like a countdown. I stood frozen in Morgan's hideout, staring at the door, heart pounding so loud it drowned out everything else. Her phone still glowed on the table, those 3 words burning into my mind. He knows.
Run.
Morgan whispered. Alina, we need to go.
Now.
But I didn't move. My feet were concrete. My hands trembled. Because just beyond that door was the ghost of my past. My father. The one I mourned. The one whose death shattered my world at 16. The one whose gravestone I had cried over for years. But he was alive. And he was here. The father I never knew. Open it, I whispered. Are you insane? Morgan snapped. If that's who I think it is, he's not here for a reunion. He's here to silence us. I ignored her. My hand moved to the knob. I opened the door. And there he was.
Tall.
Silver hair slicked back. Dark eyes that mirrored mine so perfectly, it made my stomach twist. He wore a tailored black coat, and despite the years, the shadows of time hadn't touched him the way they should have. Alina, he said softly. My beautiful girl. The words punched the breath out of me. I wanted to scream.
To cry.
To run into his arms. To slap him. I wanted everything and nothing at once. You're dead, I choked. You died. His smile was gentle. That's what they told you. What I had to let you believe. Behind me, Morgan aimed her gun at him. Not another step, she warned. He held up his hands. Relax, Agent Vaughn. If I wanted you dead, this cabin would be in ashes. He turned back to me. Can we talk, Alina? Just you and me. The truth beneath the coffin. Morgan didn't like it. She argued, cursed, paced. But eventually, she relented and waited outside, gun drawn. Inside, I sat across from the man I once called Daddy, trying to reconcile the grief I'd carried with the reality in front of me. He spoke first. My name is Gavin King. That was my birth name. Gregory Monroe was the identity I used to keep you safe. Safe, I scoffed. You faked your death. You destroyed me. He flinched, and for a brief moment, I saw regret flicker in his eyes. There were people after me, after us. I was part of a financial operation that got out of control. I wanted out, but when I tried to pull away, they threatened to take you.
Who?
I demanded. Damien? He nodded slowly. He was just a kid back then. Brilliant. Ruthless. He worked under me, learned from me. I taught him everything about the system. Offshore laundering. Influence peddling. But he was more ambitious than I ever imagined. When I tried to stop the operation, he turned on me. So you disappeared? I asked bitterly. Left me to suffer? Alone. I thought I was protecting you, he said. I had to choose. Expose everything and get us both killed or vanish. My voice shook. You let me believe you were dead. For almost 2 decades. I watched you grow from afar. Your scholarships. Your internships. I pulled strings to get you hired at Lakehurst and Boyd. I thought, maybe one day, when it was safe. You were never going to come back. Silence. That was my answer. The monster and the mastermind. Gavin leaned forward, his expression hardening. Now Damien's power has grown. He's taken over everything we built and turned it into something darker. He's using my old contacts, my infrastructure. He's planning something huge, Alina. And it starts with you. Me? He nodded. He doesn't just want to destroy you. He wants to use you. Your access to the files, your emotional connection, your face. You're his Trojan horse. I swallowed. Why? Because you're clean, Gavin said. You're one of the few people left who's untainted. If he uses you to unlock the master vault, it gives him control over everything. I stared at him. You knew this was coming. He said nothing. You used me too. Still silence. You knew exactly what would happen when I took that case. His eyes met mine. I had to see if you were ready. If you could finish what I started. Morgan stormed back inside, face pale. We have to move, she said.
Now.
They found us. A drone picked up our heat signature. We've got less than 5 minutes. Gavin stood. I have a plane. We can be out of the country in hours. No, I said. We're not running. He looked at me with surprise. I'm going to take Damien down. And you, if I have to. He smiled faintly. You have your mother's fire. A fresh wound opened in my chest. She died thinking you were dead. Do you know what that did to her? He looked away. And that silence said everything. The last safe house. We barely escaped the cabin. Morgan used a stolen SUV to get us into a network of tunnels outside the city. One last safe house built by Gavin himself.
Cold. Silent.
Forgotten. Inside, Gavin decrypted the hard drive Morgan and I had stolen. What we saw chilled me to the bone. Every document, every deal, every betrayal was logged. Names, accounts, transaction codes, even surveillance footage. Damien hadn't just built a criminal empire. He'd kept records of everyone who ever crossed him. And in the center of it all, my name. File hashtag 047A, Alina King Monroe. Asset classification, high risk/high value. Morgan scrolled through the subfolder. Inside was a surveillance log. Photos of me. In college. At work. On dates. Even in my own home. My hands trembled. He's been watching me for years. Gavin nodded grimly. You were the insurance policy. The daughter of the man who betrayed him. Impossible choices. Morgan laid out our options. We can take this to the feds, she said. Blow the whole operation. They'll bury it, Gavin said. Half the Justice Department is compromised. Then leak it to the press? I asked. They'll kill you before the story runs, Morgan said. Unless we use their own system against them. Gavin handed me a red keycard. This is the last piece. It opens Damien's primary vault in DC. his Achilles heel, all the blackmail footage,
Codes.
the one thing he fears. Morgan looked at me. You walk in with that keycard, and you either bring down the Empire or become part of it. The storm breaks. We drove through the night toward DC, switching cars, ducking drones, and dodging surveillance. The city loomed ahead like a giant waiting to swallow us whole. At 4:17 a.m., we reached the vault location, a private security firm with underground storage. I stepped out first, keycard in hand, heart beating out of rhythm. Morgan covered me from a rooftop. Gavin waited in the alley. I swiped the card. The door slid open, and Damien was waiting inside. He was alone. No guards. No weapons drawn. Just him in a tailored black suit, calm as ever. I knew you'd come, he said softly. I didn't speak. You've seen the truth now, he said. You know what your father built. What he really is. I glanced behind me. Gavin stood just outside. Damien smiled. Ask him, Alina. Ask him about the Prague Protocol. About what really happened to your mother. My blood turned cold. I turned to Gavin. Dad, what's he talking about? He didn't answer. Tell her, Damien said, stepping forward. Tell her how you didn't just disappear. Tell her how you killed her mother. I froze. No, I whispered. Gavin's face turned pale. I had no choice, he said. She found out. She was going to go public. I had to silence her. For you. The ground dropped out from under me. You killed Mom? My knees buckled. Damien stepped closer. You can give me the keycard, Alina, and I'll make all of this go away. Or you can expose the truth and destroy everyone. My hands shook. Gavin was crying now. I did it for you. Morgan's voice came over the comm. Alina, what's happening? Do not give him the card. I am bringing the car to the front. But I wasn't listening. I stood between the two men who broke my life. One was a killer. The other, my father. And I held the key to destroy them both. I ran out through the exit, panting and searching for Morgan. Oh, here she comes with the car, just in time. I dove into the back seat as Morgan floored it. Behind us, the building erupted into gunfire. They planned the meeting, I gasped. They were working together. My father, he's alive. And he's not just part of this. He's one of the architects. Morgan's face was stone. We know. We tracked his alias. King is deeper in this than anyone suspected. You were the bait. Another agent was in the car with Morgan, Rachel. She turned from the front seat. Alina, is the card still safe? I nodded, clutching my purse. Good, she said. Because you're the only person in this entire mess who hasn't been corrupted. I wasn't sure that was true. Not anymore. Back at the FBI's safe house, another one because the last was compromised, I sat in a small, sterile room, lit only by the glow of my laptop. Rhodes sat across from me, reading through the files on the keycard. This is everything, he said grimly. Names, accounts, locations. The Prague Protocol was just a piece of it. He paused, voice dropping. There's a second part, Plan Echo. A contingency. If the protocol ever came under threat. My stomach twisted. What kind of contingency? A list, he said, of targets to eliminate. Whistleblowers. Investigators. You're on it. I stared at the screen, numb. My name, printed like a death sentence in a classified document. That's not all, Rhodes said. Your father isn't just involved. He's listed as one of the overseers. And Damien? He's not rogue. He was sanctioned. Until he went off script. I need to disappear, I said. Rhodes shook his head. We can't hide you forever. And you're too important. You're the only one who can connect all the pieces. The only one they didn't expect to survive. Morgan entered, her face pale. We just intercepted chatter. There's a new bounty on Alina. 500,000. Alive or dead. I stood up, breath shallow. What do I do? Will this ever end? What is next?
For more chilling true story like this, subscribe and share. Bye for now.